Hey guys, welcome to another installment of the Academy, and thanks for watching. Okay, I am back with, I guess, part one of my critical hit unboxings. In my previous video, I went over 13 products I got as part of a bundle from a gentleman off of the Con Sim World Marketplace on Facebook. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is the main reason why I bought the bundle was to get Bloody Omaha Beach, Omaha East, D-Day 44, the ASL comp version from Critical Hit. Now, I've said not my piece, but I have my opinions about Critical Hit. Some people just hate Critical Hit. Critical Hit is good and bad. As I said in a previous video, I think some of their early stuff is pretty decent, and the production quality is, in my opinion, better than their newer stuff. Their and I know some people don't want to support Ray and the way he just regurgitates different versions of the same thing and renames them and says that they're updated and throws in an extra counter sheet to get you to pay $180 or whatever for the newest version of a certain module. And I understand that, but there's one way you can avoid that and not send your money directly to Ray if you don't support that, but you're interested in some of the things that Critical Hit has put out, and that is buy it secondhand, like I did. Buy it on eBay, various marketplaces. Now, if you do it on eBay and you see something listed that looks like it's a really high price, 95% of the time when you click through to the seller, it's Noble Knight Games. They have really good Noble Knight has really good customer service, but you pay for it. The prices they put on secondhand ASL stuff is insane. So if possible, try to find someone who collected the stuff and finally realizes they're never going to get to it or they're never going to get into the ASL system, which is starting to happen more and more recently as people, start to age. They realize this system is monstrous and they're just not going to have the time to get into it in the way that they want to, and they're offloading parts of their collection or the whole collection, which is kind of how I picked up this and the other stuff that I went through in that previous video. So whatever your feelings on Critical Hit, there are ways to get around it to get some things that might interest you without handing Ray over a couple $100. And if you're okay, if you can afford to hand over Ray a couple $100, more power to you. However you choose to, like I say, however you choose to enjoy ASL, I am not going to second guess that. It's up to you how you enjoy it, how you spend your money. One thing that really gets on my nerves is people who try to dictate to other people how they spend the money they earn. I will never do that. It's your money. Do what you want with it. Put it in a fire, put it in a pile, light it on fire. I don't care. It's your money. Same thing here. I bought some Critical Hit stuff. Sue me. I bought a second hand. That's maybe a little bit better if you have a problem with Critical Hit. It is what it is. And okay, let's unbox this. Okay, I'm going to start with a little overview. I went to Critical Hit's website and pulled up what I think is the most recent version of Omaha East on his website, and this is what it came back with. This is the ASL comp version of it. $180. You can probably get a discount code to save a little bit, but $180. Um, if you get this version, there's one listed on eBay as I am videoing this, creating this video. That's $200, and of course, it's Noble Knight Games. That's the only copy that I could find. There's one on eBay. There are two or three ATS versions, and they're like half the price, or $85. Now, you could go on the cheap and buy the ATS version and just use that. I mean, you could adapt. It would probably work fine for ASL if you wanted to go that route. I'm sure the maps are exactly the same ones. The counters are a little different, but it's probably nearly a one-for-one swap between the ATS system and ASL. It'd probably play fine for at least to get the historical experience of playing the Invasion of Omaha. One thing to note here is at the bottom it says, please note, this game uses standard Omaha size hexes, or whatever that means. I don't even know what that means. Standard Omaha size hexes. Okay. Ray tends to ramble in the stuff he types a lot of words, but he doesn't say much. Just like the old days of Avalon Hill mounted board games, each 2 foot by 3 foot playing area is created by 4 folding panels on hard stock. Okay, these are the infamous panels we're talking about. So the original map in here is uh, a 3 foot by 6 foot. And here he's saying it's 2 foot by 3 foot. So maybe the map is double this, so it's 8 folding panels. They're not on hard stock. Trust me. He, when he says hard stock, he just means the SK style, thicker, thicker card stock. They're not hard mounted at all. So you get a bunch of panels that you have to piece together and overlap. Basically this size, and you have to do things like line them up. They overlap. You can't just butt them end to end, because when he prints them, they have bleed on them, right? So if these two sides butt up, some of these hexes are on this one, and some of these hexes are on this one. So you have to overlap all of them in all 2 dimensions on all edges to get it to line up, and hope they don't shift around when you play. So good luck with that. Anyway, and then he also goes on here to claim that, let's see, Bloody Omaha East links to Bloody Omaha West to create what Guinness tells us in preliminary application is the world's largest board war game. BS. It is not the world's largest board game. There are, oh, I forget, what is it? World in Flames and some other ones that are just massive, when you put everything together. Now this is big ASL. It may be the biggest ASL to date. I think Advancing Fire has something huge coming out, or bigger coming out, but it is not the world's largest war game. That's a bunch of nonsense. But it's Critical Hit. It's Ray. He likes to type stuff that doesn't really say anything other than just making stuff up. All right, so the point of showing this is the price, $180 if you want to get into Omaha, at least the Critical Hit version of it. And it claims it uses the non-gigantic size hexes on hard stock, and it's 24 by 36. One thing I've learned about Critical Hit, anything they list in here as far as what's in the package is made up, and usually what you get is not what they say is in the description. There is no description of what's in it. It doesn't tell you how many scenarios, how many sheets of counters, exactly how big the map is, how many rules there are, any play aids. It tells you nothing in the description. So when you order, you don't know what you're going to get. I know what I was getting when I ordered this. Okay. As I spoke about in the previous video, the reason I wanted it was because of the box, and I was mistaken on the year. I think this was 2013. I thought it was much earlier than that, but 2013, I think, for this. And this is the one and only maybe ASL product. Maybe there's another one they did in a full box. Very nice presentation. That's why I like it. To be fair, they did a really good job on this box. Okay, looks really good. Got a description on the back, some examples of counters, and they got ATS logo here and ASL comp, meaning there's 2 versions of this, and this is the ASL comp version. All right, let's dig into it. Now, I did an Omaha West unboxing in comparison to historical maps, a couple, 2, 3 years ago, and I'll try to put a link to that right up yar in the corner there if you want to check that out for Omaha West. And you can link these up. There are a set of rules that someone wrote up that links Omaha East, at least the giant scenario. There's a giant scenario in this one and a giant scenario in Omaha West. And they wrote rules to link them up, and you can play one enormous Omaha Invasion campaign game. It's just a super scenario, but it's huge. Okay, let's dig into this. The contents of Omaha East are very similar to Omaha West. It's just the other other end to the beach, essentially. I'm just going to go through it in the order they are in the box. I'm going to set the box to the side. Let's just see if I can unfold how much of the map I can fit on here. Okay, let's see, which way is north here? North may be to the right. So this is one map panel. It is probably, well, it's 3 foot by 6, so it's 3 feet this direction you can't see, and it's about 2 feet this way. So there's three of these panels here, and you can see the, textures of the orchards and the woods, uh, and even the buildings. I like it because they're kind of realistic looking. They have some shadow and 3D depth to them. I really like they did a great job designing this map, in my opinion. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I have not played on the map. Some people mentioned there are some playability issues, probably more near the beaches, which I think are that way. More near the beaches than anything, and there's some problems with that, but I don't know. But I just know it's a great looking map. That's one panel, and I'll put a picture somewhere, either maybe at the end. I'll put a picture up of. I have another version of this with the panels that I bought, unfortunately, before I bought this. And I have them all laid out on my living room floor. You can see how big that version is, at least all laid out. Okay, here we go. We got some beach action here. Well, I was mistaken. The beach is to this way, this direction. This is really hard to do. Yeah. We have some inherent trenches, obviously, and inherent beach fortifications here. You can see them here. Inherent beach fortifications. Got a seawall, a bridge. I think this is a anti-tank trench, I believe. Yeah, a lot of the fortifications are built in because they were there historically. You don't really have an opportunity to put trenches where you want because they were there already historically. I think I can't. Are there pillboxes here? I don't see any pillboxes, at least on this map. Bunch of trenches. And quickly we'll look at the last section. Maybe I won't fold this one all the way out. There's the beach side. And a stream running up a big gully. This is one of the draws. I'm not sure which draw. The river Rouquette, butchering French. Um, I don't know what draw that is. Someone, without having this all laid out, I'm kind of losing my bearings. I'm surprised the draws aren't named on here. But whichever draw this river runs up, and then we go inland, and these are all, by the way, all bocage. All of these things that look like hedges are bocage. Not sure what the dotted terrain is. Maybe when we get to the rules, I can see if I can find that. Okay, those are the maps. Three of them. They're each about 3 feet by 2 feet, which makes a map that's about 3 feet by 6 feet. And I think I have a picture of that on our kitchen table from Omaha West. Yeah, the Omaha West unboxing I did that I referred to earlier. I think I have a picture of at least Omaha West on the kitchen table, which has the same size map. Maybe I'll throw that in right here while I'm digging out some of the rules here. All right, What do we have here for rules? ASL Comp Omaha East contents and more. Okay, there we have the three. Oh, what's it say here? Speaking of accessibility, crafting a gaming table for this event is easy. Publisher suggests plastic saw. Okay. He's suggesting how to craft a table big enough for both, maybe one or both. Omaha East and West. Let's see. Plastic sawhorses. You can go to get a twin pack at Home Depot for 24 bucks. Back in 2013, now they're probably like $80 for a twin pack. I don't know how much they are, but they're more, definitely more. Thank you, inflation. Combine those with 2 sheets of $12 plywood, sawed at the store into 3x6 sheets for Omaha West and 3.5x6 for Omaha East. And you'll have the cheapest, easiest to set up and take down monster gaming table ever. Yeah, very flimsy and shaky. I don't know if I'd want hundreds of counters sitting on 2 plastic sawhorses and pieces of plywood. It might work. So anyway, so for contents we have three map panels, one Omaha East special rules booklet laid out for 3-hole punching. Is it laid out for 3-hole punching? Meaning the margins are, yeah, okay. True to his word, at least there. The margins are increased so you can 3-hole punch it if you choose to. Omaha East Monster Scenario 16 or Monster number 16 scenario booklet. 10 US 16 RCT plus 2 German WM Play A cards, 12 in all. 16 Omaha East scenarios on 8 cards. Gleaves Class Destroyer Play Aid. Scenario OB Landing Craft Stacking Play Aid. I wonder if that acts as a cloaking as well. 2 of the following counter sheets: Omaha Infantry, SW2, Omaha Vehicles and Guns, and one each, I guess, of the following counter sheets: Leaders, Supplemental A, Supplemental B. Okay, I should keep this just to double check. Okay, we got the maps. We got the 12-page rule book. That's this here. So here we are. Here's the historical map of Omaha Beach East. Special rules. Omaha East special rules. It goes into trenches, on-map trenches, perimeter wire, uh, on-map wire. Looking for the oh, here it is. Rommel's asparagus, known as Rommel's spargle. 3 to 16 foot 4 to 5 meter logs that were placed in the fields and meadows of Normandy to cause damage to expected invaders of the Allied military gliders and paratroopers. Okay. What else we have? We have shingle, Belgian gates, high stakes, beam obstacles, check hedgehogs, seawall, known minefields, yeah, anti-tank ditches, Rommel's asparagus, breaching the Atlantic wall. We have Bangalore torpedoes, Tetral TNT charges, Bangalore TNT heroes. Then defending the Atlantic wall. Looks like there's some German defenses, new pillbox types. Blockhouse, pillbox cupola. Show some carved arc, how carved arcs work, and some of these new things. And then this is, I think this is the one Omaha East Monster number 16 scenario booklet, 4 pages. Yep, I guess this is it. So this is the monster scenario that takes place on, here you can see a view. Here's the dividing between east and west. This looks like this should be west. This should be east, or one of the two. Anyway, this is the full-blown Omaha Beach map. Okay, and then this is the Omaha East, not campaign game, but monster scenario. You can see it's 40 turns long. And there are, I don't know, 16, I'll show you 16 scenario cards with orders of battle and all the landing dates and what comes on during different dates or times of the day, essentially, not dates, because this all takes place during one day, obviously, June 6th, at different times. And the times I see here are 0630 to 0830. So maybe turn 40 is around 9 o'clock ish in the morning, something like that. And then on the back side of this, we've got just some historic information of the maps. I think these are like tide or no beach gradients, tide stages. You don't need this to play. This is for basically flavor, historical flavor. So continuing on in the rulebook, weapons, pits, watercraft. So there's some destroyers with naval offboard artillery offshore. I think there are counters for these. Now, I don't know if you can actually you move them around. They have movement points, so maybe you can move them around. I don't know exactly how that rule works. Anchored, bonus counters. Um, do you need these to play? They're called bonus. I don't know if you need them to play. Maybe alternate crew poses. Do we need new crews with alternate poses? Okay. Historic day for the 16, scenario number 16. I think he just talks about what you need to do. Oh, here's the designers. This is usually not included in critical hit stuff much anymore. It's kind of a mystery. Looks like Kurt Martin was the main driver of this. His name is mentioned here as main designer, I assume, and on-site research as well. Omaha gun listing, obstacle chart, terrain chart, etc. Okay, I'm gonna keep this out. What do we got? Scenarios. Let's do this. Gleaves class destroyer. I like the cutting job on that. It's pretty sweet. They let you do it here, I guess. Trim it as you see fit. Just information on each gun. I assume you can put different types of fire counters on here as they fire. Morale level 8, 12 movement points. So it must be able to move around, and I believe there's counters for it as well, or a counter for it. Then the scenario OB landing craft stacking play aid. So you can stack your units in here. I assume you can. These are amphibians. It looks like, and I assume you can. Some of the units can be cloaked. So this maybe can be used as a cloaking display as well. Okay. Scenarios. So I'm just going to go through these real quick. Thumb through them real quick. You can see, okay, looks typical scenario card, rearranged a little bit different. And down here you can see where it plays out. Yeah, Omaha East was the right side. Yeah. You can see where it plays out on the map. So this looks like it's just a little coming on shore, or maybe they've just come on shore, at least in that little corner. But I'm going to go through these real quick because I want to get to the monster scenario to show you how big it is. This one takes up most of the map here. Fairly sizable, 12 turn. Yeah, this one takes up almost the entire map as well. Up to scenario 13. So it's got, well, tiny inland. Colville Strike 2. Is our Colville Strike 1? There it is, Colville Strike 1. Okay. South Before Dark. Okay, here's the monster scenario. So there's 16, and the 16th scenario is the big one, 40 turns long. Historic day for the 16th RCT, 6 June. Starts turn 0 must be, maybe it's a setup turn. Turn 1 starts at 0630. Turn 40 looks like it's around, if you go by the scale of these times on here, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So here's all the setup. So here's the Germans and Americans on Omaha Beach, objectives, special rules, in addition to the ones in the rule book. Then here's the orders of battle and where they set up. So German set up first. So WN60, is indicated on the map where that is. All units set up in any hex of WN60, and each setup group might have a special rule. You can see here as on top of the monster scenario special rules. So at most of the WN60s, there's some sort of setup. You have units, guns, fortifications, etc. In addition to the on-map fortifications that may be there in those areas. So we're starting on page 1 of the orders of battle. See how many it goes. Different WNs, local forces. I think you can spread some of these around. Like set up, yeah, these guys with field phones, I guess. Set up anywhere on maps 4, 5, 6. They can set up anywhere. Uh, H minus 1, H hour. So H minus 1 is turn 0. H hour is turn 1. Okay. Oh wait, we started over on page numbers. So the German order of battle was so far 2 pages, and it starts on page 1, 2, then H hour plus 2. If we go back to you can see the reinforcements. Reinforcements. I don't think the Germans get some reinforcements on turn 8. It looks like lots of Americans coming on. H hour plus 3 still coming on. H hour plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7 8 H 10 through 15, so 10, 13, 15, H 22. I missed the German one. H 25. So the American order of battle is 10 pages. So it's about 12 pages of. See, the Germans turn 8 says they get something. Did I miss it? Oh, here it is. It's right here, turn 8. Yeah. So you're looking at, so this scenario is about 13 sheets long. I don't know if it's balanced or not. Like I said in my earlier video, I don't think people play it for balance. I think they play it for the historical experience, to be honest. Because balancing something like this has got to be a lot of work. And I don't know how many times you play it, you probably can't get it fully balanced, in my opinion. Counters. Now, I bagged on critical hit counters pretty good in the overview video before this, and in my counter evaluation video I made, which was a 2-parter where critical hit came in last. And I forget what critical hit counters I used for that evaluation, but they were bad. These actually look better, and these are older than the ones you think the process of making counters would be better, get better over time. Kind of like special effects in movies. You remember 10, 15 years ago, special effects were like really good. And now in 2025, you watch a movie and they look worse than they did 10, 15 years ago. I don't understand it. So why aren't counters, at least from a critical hit perspective? Some of the third-party guys do a really good job on counters. Critical hit, their new counters are trash. These look much better as far as alignment and die cutting and printing. These actually aren't too bad. And I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just going to throw them on the sheet here. If I can get them out of the box. There's a lot packed into this box. A lot of counters. The alignment on the printing is actually pretty good on these too. You can see here, I have a pointer. Where are my calipers? I spent too long as an engineer. My tweezers, you can see here, uh, where they have Germans right next to American units. Did a pretty good job printing and then die cutting right along where they line up. Not so much on this one, but these counters are way better than the ones I evaluated for my counter clipping experiment or my counter comparison videos. Bunch of landing craft, AFVs, fortifications. I think there are so many counters, you probably need Yanks and Beyond Valor to play this, I'm assuming. Even with all of these counters are included, you may need additional help. Now, if you play on Vassal, obviously that is not a problem. You have infinite counters. I lost track of the number sheets, but there's a lot of sheets, counter sheets in here. And the last sheet, I think it's is that a duplicate? Looks like, yeah, SW1, SW1. So there's supposed to be two of those? Yeah, two of each. Maybe there's two of each of the units of the infantry. Yeah, and one each of those others. I'm not going to sit here and do inventory with you. I'll do it afterwards to make sure it's all there. But it looks like everything that's listed here is in the box, which makes me happy. Okay. All right. That's it. We're done with Bloody Omaha Beach. Just set this here. Bloody Omaha Beach, Omaha East, 2013, I believe, box edition from Critical Hit. You can't get it anymore. You might get lucky and find it on eBay for a couple $100. I was able to snag it as part of a 13 critical hit module critical hit bundle for $200 just for all this stuff. So that's why I pounced on it, so I could get this. Now, will I ever play it? I don't know, but I have it. If I want to sell it down the road, it'll sell right away. But I jumped on it so I could get it and do an unboxing, which accompanies the Omaha West video that I referred to earlier. All right, let me know what you think of this product. I think because it's in a box and the production value was so high, it has some merits to be looked at. I know some people have played it, and I think they said that they enjoyed playing it, and that's cool. And I would like to play it someday. Honestly, it'll probably be on Vassal. I'm going to be honest with you. Just leaving something set up for months and months to play through it is just not reasonable anymore. I don't have a dedicated game room or game house. I have an office and I have a space to film stuff that's about 3 feet by 2 feet here. Maybe a little 4 feet by 2 feet. Some of it's off camera. That's about all the space I have. I have a kitchen table, but obviously you don't want something left on the kitchen table for months and months and months playing somebody. If you happen to find an opponent that lives in the same town as you, and if you do, that's awesome. So Vassal it will be if we ever try to tackle this. Okay, but let me know what you think of this module. I think it's pretty sweet. I'm glad I picked it up. Regardless of all the hate that Critical Hit gets, I think they did a pretty good job on this. I mean, aside from me not playing it, the production and amount of work that went into producing this, you can see it's there. So I'm hopefully it may not be balanced, but if it's fun to play, that's really all I care about, and being able to experience the historical aspect of at least Omaha Beach during D-Day. All right. Okay, that's part one of my Critical Hit bundle that I was able to pick up. I will do some more videos of some of the other things. It won't be as long as this because this was the biggest one. I did get another copy of Omaha West in there. I'm not going to do that again because that video already exists on the YouTube channel. You can just search the channel for Omaha West and it'll pop up, and there's a video about the map, how it compares to the historical map and all the stuff in that. Very similar to what's in here. It's just the other side of the beach essentially. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the comments and everything from all my members and viewers, etc. I'll see you in the next video down the road. Until then, the hay is in the barn. Academy out.
Get to the chopper!
If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, thanks for watching, and let me know how I can do better. See you in the next video.